I know many of you have recently come over to London to enjoy the Platinum Jubilee celebrations, and I hope you had a wonderful time. But recently there's been something of a, well, shall we say, scandal that's been swept under the carpet over here once again, and not featured in all the news media, the mainstream media, or indeed anything to do with the Metropolitan Police. But what is it? Hi, good morning, Neil Sean here in the very heart of London. Nice to have your company today as ever. Lovely to see you. Oh yes, look, the flowers are going to get me with a hay fever. I know, shouldn't be standing this close, but you can't resist, can you? It's a true smell of summer, isn't it, you know? And apparently it's going to be one of the worst days for hay fever today. Just my luck, I know. What's interesting about this particular story though is, if I don't know about you, but does anybody remember Raffles, the gentleman thief? I remember the books, in fact, from school, because it was a TV series at some point and they decided to release, you know, these sort of tie-in books to go with it. It starred a brilliant actor called Anthony Valentine and of course his sidekick Bunny, played by Chris Strully. Brilliant combination, and if you want to take a look at them, they're on YouTube now. But why do I mention Raffles? Well, this particular story was highlighted to me by not just one, but 5 at least exclusive London hoteliers. And if you are coming to London, or indeed travelling around Europe, do look out for this particular scandal that's taking place, so let me explain. One of the major hotels, 5-star deluxe, recently, I was talking to the manager and he said, listen, if you could highlight this for me, I would be truly grateful. So I wanted to share all of this with you. It's all about when you're dining in the restaurant or having afternoon tea or drinks in the bar. People are now having their bags snatched at a phenomenal rate. Let me explain. These people come in, they look incredibly wealthy. They don't necessarily book a table in advance. They get a table in the centre of the room and then they decide to scan it, you know, case the joint, as they used to say in the Jimmy Cagney films, remember. They look around to see who looks a viable project, a person who they could possibly engage in conversation with, and then more importantly, decide to pounce. Sometimes they work with a lady in tow as well, and she may come across and speak to you saying, oh, you missed this, or I'm supposed to be meeting somebody here. And at that point, when you're distracted, your bag is simply sifted away. You might not notice it straight away, but eventually you will. And then all 3 accomplices are out the door. The reason why they're asking me to highlight this, as I say, is it's a growing trend over here, and not just in hotels also. If you're travelling on the railways, do check your luggage at most stations, because people are just jumping on the trains, literally taking off a case that looks full and maybe rich of goodies, and getting off at that station before it's even departed, and you may not even have noticed that your luggage has gone until you arrive at your final destination. It's not often I want to bring you bad news here on the show, but I do like to protect you all. If you're travelling, of course, around the country, across Europe, or wherever you are in the world, we all have to be a little bit more vigilant, don't we? Because there are unkind people in the world right now, and sadly, you know, we have to look out for each other. But in particular, if you are having that treat, say that fabulous 5-star afternoon tea, and you think, yeah, you know, we'll go there, do make sure that you are very, very vigilant, because one moment, one blink away, and sadly, all of that wonderful memories, those wonderful times that you planned, possibly saved up for months in advance, can be simply gone in the snatch of a bag. As ever, I hope you don't mind me sharing this particular story, but because the mainstream media aren't doing it, I wanted to make sure at least it was out there somewhere. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.